They say the best chess players think 20 moves ahead, but what happens when you discover you're not playing chess? You're playing a game where the rules change every move, and the board spans the entire globe? 3 weeks after I thought I'd won my war against corporate espionage, I discovered I'd only won the first battle. Sometimes victory is just the enemy's way of setting you up for an even bigger fall. The safe house looks like every government building you've ever imagined: beige walls, fluorescent lights, and furniture that was probably purchased in bulk sometime during the Clinton administration. But the technology here is cutting edge. Quantum encrypted communications, facial recognition scramblers, and monitoring equipment that makes Lila's setup look like a child's toy. Deputy Director Sarah Chun is briefing me on the global conspiracy while Sophia and Lila review intelligence files at a conference table covered with documents from 12 different countries. Ethan, what we initially thought was a targeted attack on your company was actually a field test, Chun explains, pointing to a world map covered in red pins. Your conspiracy was the proof of concept for a much larger operation. Each red pin represents an AI company that's been targeted using the same playbook: inside infiltration, systematic destruction, and acquisition by front companies connected to government surveillance programs. How many companies total? I ask. 47 so far. But the pattern suggests they're accelerating. We think they're planning to execute the final phase within the next 6 months. Lila looks up from her laptop, her face pale. Ethan, you need to see this. I've been analyzing the financial connections between all these companies, and the money trail leads back to something called the Prometheus Group. She projects a network diagram onto the wall, a spider web of corporations, shell companies, and government contracts, all connected by money flows and personnel transfers. The Prometheus Group isn't just buying AI companies, she continues. They're positioning themselves to control the entire global AI infrastructure. Search engines, social media platforms, financial systems, military communications, everything. Sophia traces one of the connection lines with her finger. This isn't about making money. This is about making decisions for everyone. Exactly, Chun confirms. Imagine if a single organization could influence what information people see, what products they buy, who they vote for, even who they fall in love with. That's what we're looking at, the complete weaponization of artificial intelligence. My phone buzzes with a message from an unknown number. Ethan, this is Emma. I need to see you. Prison isn't safe. They're coming for everyone who knows the truth. I show the message to Chun, who frowns. Your sister's been in federal custody for 3 weeks. She shouldn't have access to outside communications. Unless someone inside the system is helping her, I realize. Within minutes, Chun is on the phone with the federal detention center where Emma is being held. The conversation is brief and terrifying. Emma Cole escaped custody 45 minutes ago during a prisoner transport, Chun announces. 2 federal marshals are dead. The room goes silent. Emma may have betrayed me, but the idea of her being hunted by professional killers makes my stomach turn. This wasn't an escape, I say. This was an extraction. Sophia grabs my arm. Ethan, if they took Emma, it's because she knows something that can hurt them. Something she didn't tell us at the warehouse. She's right. Emma's confession 3 weeks ago felt incomplete, like she was holding back information even while betraying me. Now someone has decided that information is worth killing for. We need to find her before they do, I tell Chun. Absolutely not. You're not trained for this kind of operation. We'll handle the search and rescue. But Lila is already pulling up surveillance feeds on her laptop. Actually, we might be the only ones who can find her. Emma isn't going to trust law enforcement, and she knows we can protect ourselves. On the screen, traffic camera footage shows a black SUV speeding away from the prison transport ambush. But there's something else, a second vehicle following the SUV, keeping its distance but maintaining visual contact. Emma's not just running from her rescuers, Lila observes. She's leading them somewhere. My phone rings. Emma. Ethan, I know you hate me, but I need your help. Where are you? I can't say over the phone, but I'm going to text you coordinates. Come alone, and I'll tell you everything about Prometheus, including the part that's going to destroy your life again. The line goes dead, and 30 seconds later, GPS coordinates arrive. It's a location in Baltimore, about 2 hours away. It's obviously a trap, Chun says. Obviously, but it's also our only lead to Prometheus. Sophia stands up. If you're going, I'm going with you. Sophia, this isn't your fight anymore. Yes, it is. Emma helped destroy your life, which means she helped destroy our life. I want to look her in the eye when she explains why. Against Chen's direct orders, the three of us, Sophia, Lila, and I, take Lila's surveillance van and head toward Baltimore. The van is packed with enough electronic equipment to run a small intelligence operation, which I suppose is exactly what we're doing. During the drive, Lila makes a discovery that changes everything. Ethan, I've been analyzing Emma's prison communications, and I found something. She's been in contact with someone using quantum encrypted messages, the same encryption protocol from your algorithm. That's impossible. The complete algorithm is stored in 3 separate locations that only I can access. Unless Emma had access to more of your work than she admitted to. Remember, she said some of your AI concepts came from her research. What if some of your encryption concepts did too? The implications hit me like a freight train. If Emma contributed to the quantum encryption algorithm, she might have kept copies of the research, which means she could have developed her own version. If that's true, Sophia says, then Emma isn't just a victim or a conspirator. She might be a player in her own right. The coordinates lead us to an abandoned steel mill on the outskirts of Baltimore. The kind of place where people go to disappear, or to make other people disappear. Emma is waiting for us in what used to be the main production floor, now empty except for rusted machinery and broken windows. She looks different, harder, more focused, like 3 weeks in federal custody have stripped away whatever softness she had left. You came, she says as we approach. You said you had information about Prometheus. I do. But first, I need you to understand something about our family that you never knew. She pulls out a tablet and shows me a photograph, our father, standing next to a man I don't recognize in what looks like a government facility. Dad didn't die in a car accident, Ethan. He was murdered. The world tilts sideways. Our father died when I was 22, just as my first startup was taking off. A drunk driver, the police said. A tragic accident. Dad was working on quantum computing research for the Department of Defense, Emma continues. Specifically, he was developing encryption protocols that would be unbreakable by any existing technology. She swipes to another photo, technical diagrams covered with our father's handwriting. When he realized the government planned to use his work for mass surveillance instead of national defense, he tried to stop the project. That's when they killed him and made it look like an accident. Why are you telling me this now? Because Dad hid copies of his complete research, and he told me where to find them before he died. Every breakthrough you think you made independently, you were actually continuing his work. The quantum encryption algorithm, my greatest technical achievement, suddenly feels like a lie. The Prometheus Group has been trying to acquire Dad's complete research for 25 years, Emma says. When you started developing similar technology, they realized you must have access to his work somehow. So everything that happened to me, the hack, the betrayal, the destruction of my company, that was all about getting Dad's research. Emma nods. David and Marcus were hired to destroy you and steal your algorithm. But when they couldn't break your encryption, Prometheus decided to use me to get closer to you. You mean when David approached you 2 years ago? He was working for Prometheus from the beginning. They knew about our family history, about Dad's research, about the quantum encryption work you were doing. They wanted someone inside your life who could eventually access everything. Sophia steps forward. But you chose to help them destroy Ethan instead of warning him. Emma's expression hardens. I chose to survive. These people killed our father. They've killed dozens of researchers who got too close to the truth. When they offered me a choice between cooperation and death, I chose cooperation. Why did they break you out of prison? Emma pulls up another screen on her tablet, a countdown timer showing less than 18 hours. Because tomorrow night, Prometheus is launching something called Project Pantheon. They're going to simultaneously take control of 47 AI companies across 12 countries and integrate them into a single global surveillance network. The scale is staggering. Not just American companies, but Chinese tech giants, European AI researchers, Japanese robotics firms, a truly global takeover. How is that even possible? Remember the malware that was installed on your personal devices? That was just the prototype. They've been installing similar backdoors in the systems of every target company for the past 3 years. Tomorrow night, they activate all of them at once. Lila, who has been working on her laptop while Emma talks, suddenly looks up with alarm. Ethan, we have a bigger problem. I'm picking up multiple vehicles converging on this location. Emma, did you tell anyone else where we were meeting? No, but... Emma's face goes pale. They must have been tracking the quantum encrypted messages. I thought I was being careful, but if they have better quantum computers than I realized. Through the broken windows of the steel mill, we can see headlights approaching from multiple directions. At least 6 vehicles, moving with military precision. How did you know we'd be here? I demand. Emma looks genuinely confused. I don't know. Unless... Her tablet chimes with an incoming message. She reads it, and her expression changes to pure terror. Ethan, this message says they have Lila's van surrounded, and they're jamming all communications. We can't call for help. Lila slams her laptop shut. Emma, I need you to think carefully. When you sent Ethan those coordinates, did you choose this location, or did someone suggest it? The Prometheus contact said this would be a safe place to meet. Abandoned, no surveillance cameras, easy to secure. You led us into a trap, Sophia realizes. No. I mean yes, but not intentionally. They're using me just like they used me before. The vehicles are getting closer. In the distance, I can see armed figures moving between the buildings, surrounding our location with professional efficiency. Is there another way out of here? I ask. Emma points to a service tunnel that leads to the old coal delivery system. That connects to the railroad tracks about half a mile away. But Ethan, even if we escape, they're going to keep hunting us until they get Dad's research. I make a decision that will either save us or get us all killed. Emma, where did Dad hide his complete research? There's a safety deposit box in Switzerland. Bank of Geneva, registered under an alias. But Ethan, if we give them that information, we're not giving it to them. We're going to use it to destroy them. I pull out my phone and start recording a video message. If anyone finds this recording, it means that Ethan Cole, Emma Cole, Sophia Reed, and Lila Torres are dead or missing. What you're about to see is evidence of a global conspiracy called the Prometheus Group that has been murdering researchers and stealing AI technology for 25 years. I turn the camera toward Emma. Tell them everything. As armed figures close in on our location, Emma gives a complete confession. Names, dates, financial records, government connections, everything she knows about Prometheus and their plans for global AI domination. The safety deposit box in Geneva contains our father's complete quantum computing research, she says to the camera. Account number 847392, registered under the name Thomas Chun, access code quantum, father, 1995. Use that research to build defenses against Prometheus, not weapons for them. I stop recording and immediately upload the video to multiple secure servers, WikiLeaks, and every major news outlet I can think of. Insurance policy, I explain. If they kill us, the truth goes public anyway. We escape through Emma's service tunnel just as the armed teams breach the main building. The tunnel is cramped, dark, and filled with 25 years of rust and debris, but it leads us away from immediate danger. Half a mile later, we emerge near abandoned railroad tracks just as my phone buzzes with confirmation that the video has been received by journalists at the Washington Post, New York Times, and BBC. Now what? Sophia asks. Now we go to Switzerland, I say. We get Dad's research, and we use it to build something Prometheus can't break, steal, or corrupt. Emma stares at me. You mean you're willing to trust me after everything I've done? I'm willing to give you a chance to make it right. As we're hiking toward a main road where Lila can call for extraction, my phone rings. It's Deputy Director Chun. Ethan, where are you? We lost contact an hour ago. Baltimore. And Chun, we have a problem. Prometheus is planning something called Project Pantheon for tomorrow night. We know. We've been monitoring their communications since you uploaded that video. Ethan, you need to get to a secure location immediately. The president has been briefed, and we're coordinating with international partners to stop Pantheon. What do you need from us? We need your father's research. If Emma is telling the truth about quantum computing protocols, they're 25 years ahead of current technology. That might be the only way to stop a global AI takeover. 12 hours later, we're on a private jet to Geneva, accompanied by FBI agents and cybersecurity experts from 3 different countries. The President of the United States has personally authorized this mission, and intelligence agencies from NATO countries are working together to stop Project Pantheon. But as we're flying over the Atlantic, Lila makes a discovery that changes our entire understanding of the situation. Ethan, I've been analyzing the financial records Emma provided, and I found something disturbing. The Prometheus Group isn't just a private conspiracy. It has connections to intelligence agencies in multiple countries. She shows me a network diagram that looks like a spider web of international espionage. This isn't just corporate greed or surveillance state overreach. This is a shadow organization that operates across national boundaries with members in the CIA, MI6, Chinese MSS, Russian GRU, everyone. Emma, who has been silent for most of the flight, finally speaks up. There's something I didn't tell you in Baltimore. The reason I know so much about Prometheus is because our father wasn't just a researcher they killed. He was one of the founding members. The cabin goes silent. Dad helped create Prometheus in the 1990s as a way for democratic countries to collaborate on cybersecurity. But over the years, it was corrupted by people who wanted to use it for control instead of protection. So Dad tried to stop his own creation. Yes, and they killed him for it. Just like they'll kill us if we try to stop Project Pantheon. 6 hours later, we're standing in the vault of the Bank of Geneva, looking at a safety deposit box that hasn't been opened in 25 years. Emma enters the access code, and the box opens to reveal research documents that look like they're from the future. Quantum computing protocols, AI integration frameworks, encryption algorithms that make my work look primitive. Our father was decades ahead of his time. But there's also something else, a handwritten letter addressed to my children. If you're reading this, it means they've killed me, and now they're coming for you. The letter explains everything, how Prometheus was created with good intentions but corrupted by power, how our father tried to build safeguards that were removed by his colleagues, how he hid the most dangerous research to prevent it from being misused. The complete quantum AI integration protocol in this box could either save humanity from surveillance tyranny or enable the ultimate surveillance state. The letter reads, I trust you to make the right choice. But there's a final revelation that shocks everyone. Emma, you have your mother's gift for quantum mathematics. Ethan, you have my gift for systematic thinking. Only by working together can you complete what I started. As we're studying our father's research, Lila gets an urgent message from Chun. Project Pantheon launches in 3 hours. We need the counter protocols now. The race against time begins. Emma and I, working together for the first time in years, start translating our father's research into code that can protect the 47 target companies from Prometheus's takeover attempt. But as we work, we realize that stopping Pantheon isn't enough. We need to expose the entire Prometheus network and make sure this kind of global conspiracy can never threaten democracy again. Using our father's quantum protocols, we don't just defend against Project Pantheon, we turn it against itself. Every backdoor Prometheus has installed in target companies becomes a window for us to expose their operations. As Pantheon launches, expecting to take control of the global AI infrastructure, instead it downloads and publishes 3 years of Prometheus communications, financial records, and operational plans. The conspiracy that killed our father and destroyed my life finally collapses under the weight of its own evidence. 3 days later, arrests are happening simultaneously across 12 countries. Government officials, corporate executives, intelligence agents, everyone connected to Prometheus is being rounded up by their respective national authorities. Emma and I are sitting in a cafe in Geneva, watching the news coverage of what journalists are calling the largest international conspiracy in modern history. Do you think Dad would be proud? She asks. I think he'd be happy that we finally learned to work together. Sophia joins us at the cafe with news from Lila, who stayed behind to help coordinate the international investigation. 43 countries are now sharing intelligence about Prometheus operations. The UN is creating a new international cybersecurity treaty. And Lila says 3 different governments want to hire her as a consultant. And what about us? I ask. Sophia smiles. Well, the Swiss government has offered to help you rebuild your company here. Something about wanting to be the global center for ethical AI development. I look at Emma, the sister who betrayed me but ultimately helped save the world from digital tyranny. I look at Sophia, the woman who entered my life through deception but chose love over conspiracy. I think about Lila, the hacker who became my closest ally in the fight for digital freedom. You know what? I say, I think it's time to build something new. Not just a company, but a movement. Something that makes sure no one ever again has to choose between freedom and security. They say that the price of freedom is eternal vigilance, but I've learned that sometimes the price of freedom is trusting the people who've hurt you most. My name is Ethan Cole, and 6 months ago, I was a billionaire who thought success meant building the biggest company. Today, I'm something more important. I'm a guardian. A guardian of the technology that could either free humanity or enslave it forever. The conspiracy that destroyed my life taught me that the most dangerous enemies are often the ones closest to you. but it also taught me that the strongest allies can come from the most unexpected places. Emma and I will never have the relationship we had before, but we have something better now. A shared mission that's bigger than family, bigger than business, bigger than any individual ambition. The Billionaire's betrayal is over. The Guardian's mission has just begun.